Hi, I'm Bill Fluharty from the Keller Futures Center, and I'm here to give you an update on a current project we're working on. The project is about building resilience within Latino youth in Grand Rapids, and it's a small project that's a part of a bigger issue or designed to create solutions to a bigger issue, and that is how do we increase the academic achievement of Latino youth in Grand Rapids. So we're here at the RDV Foundation facilities. They've loaned us a conference space to host our project in, and we're in the first week of a 7-week project. What we've done is created a project methodology using the human-centered design process to come up with solutions to building resilience within Latino youth. The concept is that as adults and community leaders and politicians and administrators of the school systems attempt to lead systems change and make a better world for our kids, they're currently trying to navigate life in a place where they are today. And this project is about giving them the tools, the resources to overcome barriers or situations that may hold them back in the high school age frame. So that might be from 9th grade through their senior year. So we just finished our first week, which is always very exciting because we start the week trying to introduce people to the topic, to the project and problem statement, and to align expectations. That was our first session. And we just finished our second session, which was all about trying to define what resilience means to the group on the project team. To do this, we've been using different tools and techniques that are hallmarks of the design thinking methodology. We've run through a number of them, the first one being active listening, where we talk about when people present things or people discuss things that we listen for meaning. We listen for the insights that will inform our project. The second tool that we used was mind mapping, where we, in the first session, aligned expectations on the team by having the team create a mind map that was about what their particular expectation was for the outcome of this project. And that mind map process allowed us to make sure that the project that we've defined and designed is going to meet the expectations of the project team. A technique that we use today that you're going to hear a little more about is using analogies and metaphors as a mechanism or as a tool to allow us to be more articulate about how we describe the topic that we're studying. The example here is that we all have our own definitions of resilience, but if we want to expand that definition, we need to learn new terms, to see different examples, and learn from those examples and have them help us to come up with new terms, new constructs, maybe new frameworks for describing the topic that we're studying. So that's what we did today. We've been really talking a lot about visual communication and the importance of graphics and storytelling as tools to encourage collaboration and to help us all express ourselves in the context of a cross-functional design project. What you see behind me is what may appear to be a messy diagram, but this was a very effective storytelling device in today's session. This was one small group's discussion about what resilience is. And you can see what they tried to express graphically is that people end up in a place at some point in their life where they're stuck. And this is an individual on a unicycle with a square wheel. And obviously the unicycle is potentially a vehicle that's very flexible and adaptable and can get you where you want to go, but only if it has a round wheel. So the discussion here is what are the mechanisms that allow this unicycle to start rolling and allow that wheel to start rounding off, get smoother, so the individual riding it can meet their goals or achieve what they want to achieve in their life. The road here is littered with mechanisms and tools and experiences that allow this progression to happen. Our goal here in this exercise, and we had 4 different teams working on these graphics, was to discover the key elements of resilience and also the mechanisms and tools that might be required that will allow us then to identify who we need to talk to and who might be involved, who are the stakeholders that are involved in this process. In the next few sessions, we're going to define those stakeholders, and then we're going to go talk to them to try to discover or uncover unmet needs. Those unmet needs, if we can find solutions to those needs and problems, then we're probably going to have a real impact on this ability to teach or encourage resilience within our Latino youth.
Hello everybody, my name is Luciano Hernandez. I'm glad to be part of this team. What I'm going to do today is demonstrate a mind mapping tool that we used this week, and we're going to continue to use during this process, but more importantly, give people a tool that they can use for their everyday lives. Okay, so mind mapping really is it comes around the idea that if we have a difficult problem or a situation or something that you want to solve, we actually make images of what we're thinking actually. So that'll help us put it down on paper, put images there, and just help us sort out the complicated details. Okay, so the idea that we used was how can I get more Twinkies in my back of my truck? So that was kind of a humorous way of demonstrating mind mapping. So I'll do that again for you. So the way mind mapping works, and it usually works, is that you put your problem statement in the center. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my truck, and I mean, it doesn't have to be anything spectacular, right? Just so you really understand and the audience understands that it's a truck, right? Or it's an image. That's all that really matters. So how fast or how quick you draw it doesn't really matter. So the question is, how can I get more Twinkies in the back of my truck, right? So so you just kind of start brainstorming in your own head or brainstorming among a team. So that's a lot of Twinkies. So I'm gonna need money to buy them, right? So I got a little image over here of I got money. You know, another suggestion was in our group was saying, okay, you're gonna need a high-low to put all the Twinkies in the back of my truck because we've got so many of them, right? So, oh, by the way, we need a lot of Twinkies, right? We need a lot of Twinkies. And then, you know, just draw things the way you think about them. In my case, you know, I think about all the good stuff that's inside the Twinkies, and it just kind of pulls out emotion as well. So again, we're just writing all these things down, and I'm gonna need help. That's a lot of Twinkies. So you see what's going on here is that we're dissecting the situation, we're dissecting the problem by identifying in a visual way the things we're gonna need to fill my truck with Twinkies, right? Obviously, it's a bit more complicated than that, and we can take that further out. For example, yes, we need money, and so over here is, so how are you going to make it? You know, it's how, right? How are we going to make money? So, you know, obviously, again, and we're going to need people. Okay, so how am I going to recruit the people to help load my truck, right? Okay, that's a lot of Twinkies. So a gas station doesn't usually have that many Twinkies, you know, at one time. So what do we got to do to get that many Twinkies? You know, in this case, hopefully Hostess is still around there and still making Twinkies. Otherwise, I may have to start my own factory or at least contract somebody to do that, right? And then over here with the high-low, I'm not sure if you can tell what it is. So, I mean, Need a high-low? Okay, so you need fuel for the high-low. So those are all the other external factors. But you see that all of a sudden we have solutions that we can start to address on how to fill my truck with Twinkies. So that's mind mapping.